Hello and welcome to the tutorial for the Meshinator. In this tutorial I'll go over every single functionality of the Meshinator. Here's a quick overview of what I've done so far with the Meshinator. So this is what I did with the Meshinator. Let's try real quick some positioning. So let's say I want to have more trees here inside. So I'm adding trees. I already prepared some images here. So let's say it's some brownish autumn tree. I want to add it like scattering some trees here. And therefore the Meshinator comes with a built-in functionality which is on top and to cursor. Which means as soon as I press here load mesh, it's positioning the mesh at the cursor. Then I can move it somewhere, wherever I want. What you can do now, you can go up here and click the cursor. You can click here, load mesh. Click here, load mesh. Maybe change it, load mesh. Click here, load mesh. It automatically this is what on top is doing. Automatically checks if there's some mesh below, and it position it on top of it. That's why these two trees are above each other. So if I do load mesh, load mesh, load mesh a couple of times, you get a kind of a tree tower. Yeah? Let's do the tree. And also I added some helping button. You can do it just to get the tree in your structure, in your outliner. You can hit the little dot on the numpad, but usually for me it's easier to just use the highlight button. I click highlight. No, let's do this. Now you see it's not centered. I click highlight. We are centered at the water plane I just selected. So it's save it to image. And now 3 star summer 002. 3 star summer 002. 3 star summer 002. Now it should appear on the right spot. Load mesh. Okay. And another thing, if I just move this kind of up, so now it's somewhere in the air. Let's just do it somewhere here. Now we are somewhere in the air, and this on top functionality just searches for the first appearing mesh below in the C direction, in the C orientation, and places it here on top of it. So now you have your tree. Even if your origin is somewhere above, it just checks is there a mesh and place it on top of the following mesh. So I didn't change this position, that's why this happens. So you can build really quick some kind of towers. Okay. Mesh. For making the scattering a little bit easier, I just add each operator in Blender to your quick favorites. So I right click, add to quick favorites. Now I can do load mesh, load mesh, load mesh. I already added this operator to the quick favorites, which means I can Q, load mesh, Q, highlight, and it appears here, so it's easier to navigate. Q, highlight, now I'm here. Or maybe let's click this, Q, highlight. Now here are all my stuff. You go inside. I have, for example, here animals. This is also, I talk about later. For example, here I have the fox. What you also can do, you can just, here's the drop on, turn this on, and this drop on is turned on, turns this on to enable the drop functionality that allows you to drop the Meshinator images into the 3D viewport. This is what we do right now. You see, nothing happened. That's because when you drop the image into the viewport, it has to be somewhere where no other mesh is below the mouse. For example, here in the air. And now it's loading. Let's do the horse. It's kind of next delete. Let's do open the folder. Let's go to buildings. So I created a hangar. So the objects I'm using, they're coming from opengamesart.org. Now we have a hangar. This is how it basically works. Okay, so let's start all over and just AX delete. Okay, now we have just an empty scene. This scene I just prepared. There I added a HDRI. I downloaded from HDRI Heaven. It's Kloppenheim. So let's do a terrain. Go to my folder where I have some terrain stored. Let's do a mesh. As you can see, this is the same terrain we had before. Just it's not shaded smooth. This you can do, just right click shade smooth. Now it's the same thing we saw before. Let's add a sun to make it sun. Rotate it. R to rotate. Let's just move it a little bit. Okay, this is the same thing. Okay, let's add a water plane. This is just a plane. A mesh. Now we have added the water plane. If you want this kind of a template, what you can do, you can create a new empty. Now the empty should be at the 0 position. Then you go up there, shift select, just click it with the left mouse button, move it up, hold shift, drop set parent, hold alt to keep transform. I didn't hold alt, I just shift. I was holding shift and release the left mouse button. Control. These two meshes below this empty. Okay, let's give it a name. I hit F2 and rename it. Let's call it mocapper. And here, for example, if you plan to share it somewhere, you can add a link to some website or whatever. I can show you one of my website where I share this stuff. So, for example, here I share my images just created. Control C, just copy this link. I add this link to the image. Here I can choose what kind of license I want. This button which opens this folder where all the stuff is lying inside, and I just right click new folder, publishing. Okay, then you can close this, and here you should find the new folder. Because I just created a new folder, Blender doesn't know anything about the folder. That's why I just choose some random folder, and then Blender is doing an update, and now we should find the publishing folder. It's publishing. So if you click here, it's empty. Yeah. Okay. You also can just open it, and you see this is just an empty folder. Okay, I activate my assembly where my terrain is inside and my water is inside, and then I click save to image, And you see now here an image appeared. Double click. This is the name of the terrain, what you see here. It's the name. And here we have the creator, which I added here on top. Creator. And these are some informations. By the way, textures, this tool does not support any texturing. It's only supporting the Principled BSDF standard colorization without textures. It's not taking any textures over. Okay, here's the license, which I added here, and here's the creator link. Okay, so let me close this real quick, and now it should appear here. And as soon you have it here, I have here the creator link, the creation date, which is added automatically, so the license and the creator name. This is just the image info. And if I click here, it will open this link. Now it just opened this link, and if I want to share this, especially here on, this is not, I'm not paid or whatever from them, I just use this because it's easy to use, to be honest. Then I go to my upload. What I can do here, I just can open this folder again, just drop it. Okay. So load it up. Okay, now let's go to my profile, and here appeared this new file. So let me open real quick a temporary folder. Let's click the link. Okay, now we have it. Click it, drop it into the temporary folder. Let's first AX delete everything, so now nothing is in there. Just move it over. So now I just dropped the same file from the internet to my Blender, and that's, I guess, a huge power of this. Okay, let's move on. GZ a little bit down, something like this. Okay, now I like this more. What you can do is just save it again. Now you have it here. It's called Terrain 002. You can choose it here, Terrain 002, AX delete, load, and now you have it again. If you always want to load it with shaded smooth mode, you can X delete. Good. Okay. What else? Okay, let me show you some houses. H house. Here, it should appear here. Low mesh. And here we go. Let's add a sun. We lost the sun, light, sun. Rotate a little bit for the shadows. And now you see we have shade smooth turned on. And you also can turn it off. Low mesh. This GX, let's move it over. Now we have the same house shaded smooth and not, what you see, put the cursor somewhere here on top, load mesh, now it appears here. Same house, load mesh, here. Okay, now we have the houses here. If you want, if you're happy with this, what you can do, let's maybe just go there, select this, hit the Q, highlight. Okay, we are at the house. What I want to do, I want to rotate this RC, just rotate it a little bit. Okay, and now let me rename this new terrain with houses.